Hello and welcome to Uncle Online Academy. In today's further mathematics class, we are going to look at complete factorization of polynomial. In complete factorization of polynomial, we try to factorize completely a polynomial. That is to get all the factors or all the roots of a polynomial. Remember that in the previous lesson we talked about factor theorem, and we said that a factor of a polynomial, when we get the x value of the factor and put it into the polynomial, we are going to get 0. So if we are given any factor, one factor, and asked to get the other factors of the polynomial, what we do is that we divide the polynomial by the factor that is given to us, and then we solve to get the other factors. Most polynomials, they have more than one factors. So if we are given one of it and we are asked to get the other factors, divide the polynomial by the factor that is given to you and then solve to get the other factors. For instance, if we have x raised to power 3 minus 4x raised to power 2 plus x plus 6, and we are told that x plus 1 is a factor of this polynomial. Now we are asked to get the other factors of this polynomial. How do we do it? Now, remember that most polynomials, they have more than one factors. So to get the other factors, we divide the polynomial by the factor given to us. So we use long division method and have x plus 1 is the dividend. We are dividing x raised to power 3 minus 4x raised to power 2 plus x plus 6. In division, like I said, in division of polynomial, you divide the highest power in the dividend by the highest power in the divisor. So the highest power here is x raised to power 3, and the highest power here is 1, that is x raised to power 1. You just have only one term with a variable. So when we divide, there's x here, the variables here are the same, so we take one of it, x raised to power. If we are dividing in indices, division gives subtraction of power, so it becomes x raised to power 3 minus the power of this one, which is x minus 1, so it becomes x raised to power 2. And we see that the method of division involves divide, multiply, and subtract until you get 0 or you get to the number that you cannot divide further. So when we times this by this, we get, when we times x raised to power 2 by x, we get x raised to power 3. We also use it to times the other term, that is 1. So we have plus x raised to power 2. In doing this, we make sure that we put everyone under the degree, the right degree. X raised to power 3 must be under the degree 3, and x raised to power 2 must be under the degree 2, the one that has degree 2, which is minus 4x raised to power 2. Now, after doing this, we subtract x raised to power 3 minus x raised to power 3 will give us 0, minus 4x raised to power 3 raised to power 2 minus x raised to power 2, that is minus 4 minus 1, that will give us minus 5. So we have minus 5x raised to the power 2. Now, the other terms that we did not work on, we worked on x raised to the power 3 and minus 4x raised to the power 2. We did not do anything with these two, so we bring them down, plus x plus 6. Now, this term becomes the new dividend. So we divide this term again by the divisor. That means that we are now going to have minus 5x raised to the power 2 plus x plus 6. We divide it by the same divisor, x plus 1. Remember, we already have x raised to the power 2. Now, we divide the highest power in the dividend again by the highest power in the divisor, which is now 5x minus 5x raised to the power 2 divided by x. We get minus 5x. Minus 5x times by x will give us minus 5x raised to the power 2, and minus 5x times by 1, that will give us minus 5x. Now we subtract again. Minus 5 minus 5 will give us minus 5 plus 5, which is equal to 0. So this becomes 0, and this becomes x minus 5, that is 1 minus 5, that gives us 6. 1 plus 5 is 6, so we have plus 6 x, then plus 6. We did not work on 6, so we bring it down, that is plus 6. Now that means that this one now becomes the new dividend. This becomes the new dividend now. Now, as the new dividend, we divide it again. So we already have x raised to the power 2 minus 5x. Then the divisor remains the same, x plus 1. Then the new dividend now is 6x plus 6. Now we divide the highest power again in the dividend by the highest power in the divisor. We have 6x. 6x divided by x, we are going to get plus 6. Only 6. So 6 times by x, that will give us 6x, and 6 times by 1, that will give us 6. Now we subtract again. 6x minus 6x will give us 0, and 6 plus 6 minus 6 will also give us 0. So we have 0, 0. And that means that the factor actually given to us is a real factor of it. It is a 0 of the factorization of the polynomial. It is a 0 of the polynomial because it gives us 0. It is actually the real factor of it, because after dividing it gives us 0. This is another way of confirming whether the number or the term given to us is a factor of the polynomial. You either use long-term division to check if you get 0 at the end of it, or you put the x value into the polynomial and see if you get 0. We did this in the previous lesson on factor theorem. Now, for us to get the other factors, now we take the quotients. This quotient gave us another polynomial, but this polynomial that we have now, we can factorize this. This is a quadratic equation, so which we can easily factorize. When we factorize it, we get the other factors of it. So this, we have the quotient as x raised to the power 2 minus 5x plus 6. So when we factorize this, we are going to have two things that will multiply to give us 6 plus 6. And when we add them, it will give us minus 5. First of all, the factors of 6 are 6 and 1, 3 and 2. Which of these will give us 6 plus 6 and minus will give us 6 when we add them, when we multiply them, and 5 when we add them. This times 1 will give us 6, 6 times 1 will give us 6, but 6 plus 1 will give us 7, so this one is not the right one. Now 3 times 2 will give us 6, and 3 plus 2 will give us 5. Okay, now we take care of the sign. We have plus 6 and minus 5. So we have, if we say minus 3 and minus 2, minus 3 times minus 2 will give us plus 6, okay? And minus 3 plus minus 2, it will give us minus 5, okay? So this is the right factor for it, the right terms. So we use the factors we've gotten there to replace this 5x like we do when we are solving quadratic equations using factorization methods. So we have x raised to the power 2 minus 3x minus 2x plus 6. We have removed the 5x. Now this is going to give us x raised to the power 2 minus 3x, then minus bracket 2x plus 6. Now this is going to give us, in the first one, we are going to have x is the common factor between x raised to the power 2 and 3x. We can bring x out. X, the x raised to the power 2 divided by x, we get x, and 3x divided by x, we get minus 3. Okay, then this minus brackets, okay, minus here 2 is a factor, so we bring 2 out. 2 can divide 2 and divide 6, so we have minus 2 brackets. If it divides 2x, we get x. Now for this 6, this is tricky because it is something that if we multiply it back, it is going to give us plus 6. So we have to be very, very careful here. Whatever we divide it with, whatever we are going to get, if we multiply it back by this 2, we are going to get plus 6. So what can multiply minus 2 to get plus 6? It is minus 3. So this is what we have. The only way for us to get plus 6 here is for us to have minus, so that if we have minus 2 times minus 3, we have plus 6. As when we have plus here, minus 2 times 3 times plus 3, it will give us minus 6, but it is not minus 6 that we have here, it is plus. So this is very trickish. It's very tricky, not trickish. Minus 3. So we have to be very careful. So with this, we have x outside the bracket here in the first one. X bracket x minus 3. So we collect the terms outside brackets. So we have x minus 2, and then we take one of the brackets. Since we have the same thing inside the brackets. So we have x minus 3. So these are the two remaining factors of this polynomial. So the whole factors are now the one given to us, which is x plus 1, then x minus 2, and x minus 3. So this is the complete factors of the polynomial. Sometimes after dividing here, you may not have any need to work on it again. You may just get the other factor directly here. But if you have a degree that is more than 1, you still have to divide again to get the other factors. But if you don't have it, then that means that you take that one as the other factor. So we're able to factorize again because we have degree 2. So we use quadratic method to solve to get the other factors. So that is how to factorize a polynomial completely. So we have completely factorized the polynomial to get x minus 2, x minus 3, and x plus 1. I hope this is very easy and very simple, and I believe you've understood it. Okay, so thank you.